Hi there, my name's John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we're part of the ELCA. And this is Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text and we tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree. This is for the 14th Sunday after Pentecost, and we're using the gospel lesson out of Matthew 18, where the disciples asked Jesus, "How many times do I have to forgive my neighbor?" And they asked the question. I brought some notepad. They asked the question: Do I have to forgive my neighbor 7 times, or do I? They say, how many times do I have to forgive my neighbor? Is 7 times enough? 7 times. That's good enough, right? And Jesus says that it's not enough to. You don't have to forgive your neighbor 7 times. No, he ups the ante. It's 7 times 7 that you have to forgive your neighbor. 7 times 7. Yeah. So the idea in talking about forgiveness, that's my basic idea that I'm going with for the children's sermon today. I'm using a simple magic trick. And what you need is from the Dollar Tree or the dollar store or any stationary supply store, Fred Meyer's or Kroger's or whatever, is you need a pack of 3x5 cards. You can actually use business cards, but the 3x5 cards are big enough. And now we're going to talk about a magic principle called out to lunch, and I'm not going into the full details of why we call it that. It has to do with credit and who created it, etc. But you can find this in any beginner magic book. I'm going to teach it to you today. What you need is, you need your 3x5 cards. You need some thick rubber bands. I'm using 2 rubber bands because it adds. It's thicker. You can actually, if you get a rubber band that's around broccoli that's thicker, you can use that. But so you've got the rubber band here like this, and then you need, if you've got dollar store index cards, you might need to do this. If you've got thicker ones, you don't. But you take an index card and you cut it in half, and you put them together like that. So you've got, and the only reason you got 2 is because, well, you'll see in a moment. So you got your cards here. You are going to write on one side before you begin. You're going to write a 7. All right, and then you are going to cover the 7 with these 2 cards. But because I'm slipping them underneath the edges, underneath the rubber bands. So this is the 2.5 under rubber bands here like this. It looks like 1 card. Looks like 1 card, but these are covering the 7 like that. All right. So when it comes time, you write the 7. I can't write upside down, so you write your 7. And you're like, and it's 7 times. No, it's not 7 times. And then I grab this so they can see that you are going to pull this card. But then holding down here like this, I turn over and I pull this out here like this. Now, when you're down here like this and you're pulling it and you're not all contorted, that works out better. But let's say these little cards actually come loose like that. You just don't let go of this. Just hold it, but you're holding it face down like this, and you show the card, and you're talking about 77 times. So, anyway, that's the magic trick that's the illustration using cards and rubber bands and pencil. Or here's a tip. I started off using a marker. Marker's really hard to use with these because I needed like 3 different, I needed 3 or 4 layers so that they couldn't see through the half sheets. So use a pen, show 7, say no, talking about this 7, because 7 times, forgiving someone 7 times, that's a lot. But Jesus says, no, not even 7 times, just like I've forgiven you. And, we talk about how God forgives us time and time and time again, and Jesus asks us to do the same. So anyway, that's the idea for the children's sermon for the 14th Sunday after Pentecost. I hope you can use it, and like always, I hope you have a blessed week. Thanks for stopping by.